You open the bottle, the liquid looks clear. The label says 5 grams of creatine per serving. What it doesn't say is how long that creatine has been sitting in acidic solution at room temperature, slowly converting to something your muscles cannot use. Liquid creatine is the only form of creatine where the product can degrade significantly before you consume it. Every other form, powder, capsule, effervescent tablet, delivers creatine in a dry state where the conversion to creatinine is negligible. Liquid formulations have no such protection. Creatine converts to creatinine through a spontaneous chemical reaction called cyclisation. The molecules amino and guanidino groups react intramolecularly, forming a ring structure that is creatinine. This reaction is reversible in principle, but thermodynamically favors creatinine under acidic conditions and at elevated temperatures. In a sealed bottle sitting in a warehouse, in a truck, on a shop shelf, the conversion proceeds continuously. The rate of conversion depends on 3 variables: pH, temperature, and time. At low pH, conversion is faster. At higher temperatures, conversion is faster. In a sealed bottle with a shelf life of months, the combination of any meaningful acidity and ambient storage temperatures produces measurable creatinine accumulation over the product's intended use period. Research testing commercial liquid creatine products has found substantial creatinine content in products that were within their stated shelf life. One analysis found that creatinine represented the majority of the total creatine plus creatinine content in liquid products that had been stored under standard conditions. You were buying a bottle that was predominantly creatinine by the time it reached you. Manufacturers of liquid creatine have attempted to address this with pH buffers and various stabilizing approaches. Some formulations have achieved greater stability than early products. But the fundamental chemical challenge, creatine in solution is thermodynamically unstable, has not been solved in a way that has produced clinically validated shelf-stable liquid creatine products with documented sustained creatine concentrations across their intended shelf lives. The consumer has no reliable way to evaluate liquid creatine quality at the point of purchase. A powder certificate of analysis tells you the creatine content at the time of manufacture and can be verified independently. A liquid product's creatine content at the time of manufacture tells you little about what is actually present when you open it. Testing at time of consumption, not manufacture, is what matters, and that testing is not available to the consumer. Even if a liquid creatine product were to achieve stability across its full shelf life, it would have no performance advantage over powder. Creatine absorbed from liquid is not delivered to muscle tissue faster or more completely than creatine dissolved from powder at the time of consumption. You can dissolve your monohydrate powder in liquid immediately before drinking it, achieving essentially identical delivery characteristics to any theoretical stable liquid formulation. The practical and evidence-based conclusion is straightforward. Buy powder, dissolve it yourself, consume it fresh. Liquid creatine adds manufacturing complexity, chemical stability problems, and cost in exchange for no performance benefit. It is the one creatine format that introduces a genuine quality control problem that does not exist with dry forms. The stability problem with liquid creatine is not easily solved by refrigeration, though lower temperatures do slow the conversion rate. A product that requires continuous cold chain maintenance from manufacture to consumption, including retail display and the consumer's home storage, introduces a logistical burden that is incompatible with how supplements are actually stored and sold. Products that instruct consumers to refrigerate after opening are acknowledging the degradation problem without fully solving it. The product has likely already experienced variable temperature exposure before reaching the consumer. Some liquid creatine manufacturers have pivoted to very small serving volumes with high claimed creatine concentrations, arguing that smaller liquid volumes minimize the total creatinine accumulation in the bottle. A bottle of 100 small shots has less total liquid per shot than a bottle of large servings. The chemistry of conversion is the same per unit volume, though concentration and pH effects mean that the stability problem doesn't disappear just because the serving is smaller. Liquid creatine solves a problem, convenience, that monohydrate powder already solves at lower cost and without the stability uncertainty. Mix it fresh. That is the superior approach in every measurable way.